Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is another edition of Camarilla New York by Night. We find ourselves today in an office in one of the well-known clubs that used to be run by the prince and is now currently occupied by the Seneschal Johan de Witt. He's clearly taken over. He's clearly taken over the club. It's not in running anymore. Things are covered in plastic. It's not supposed to be running, so it seems. The personnel's been sent home on paid leave. Yes, it will be in the penthouse bar indeed. And as the seneschal takes his seat and sends out his invitations to particular individuals like Mr. Limey and Victor and Rose, but also less known individuals such as Alex Dales and a small gangrel, which he forgotten the name about, and the Ravenels, which will remain the Ravenels. However, few do come to the club. They get through regular security, really, and then find themselves in the limelight, which seems to be an office. Standing all three, opposing a desk, as the seneschal is writing letters, and he says, "Can rule the city. Thank you for joining me here tonight, as we find ourselves at a crossroad, ladies and gentlemen. A crossroad where things need to be handled. I have had many reports which have been sent by the previous prince, as well as other contacts I have in the city, telling me about people's doings, the good and the bad. So, because I've read all those assessments, I've decided to make some quick and hard changes. One of those changes will be that I remove Mr. Green from the position of sheriff. He seems to be AWOL. If he wants to return, then he needs to talk to either the prince or myself. But until then, we need a new sheriff. There are a few names that have come up. Names that meant good, how do you say that? Good of investment into the city. One of those investors in the city are you, Mr. Limey. Therefore, I am sorry to inform you that you can no longer be our harpy. However, you will be our resident sheriff, starting immediately."
Well, thank you very much, Mr. DeWitt. I will endeavour to perform my duties to the best of my abilities. However, I would ask who you intended to replace me with.
Well, that's the question. So far, you'll be having two tasks, but the harpy will be delivered as soon as possible to another position. I have someone in mind, but seeing as he doesn't react as quickly as you do in times of need, you'll have to take both positions. However, I'll take a transgression period of a month, in which you will have to be either trained the new harpy into becoming a proper one, or keep both titles, which would mean that the newly appointed wannabe harpy will be punished for being insignificant. This person, however, is Rick Grayson. I've heard that he has done great things when you've met the What's it called? The musician thing.
The maestro, Mr.
Right,
DeWitt.
yes, indeed, the maestro. So until then, you're a sheriff, and you will train Mr. Grayson into becoming a harpy. If he is insufficient, he will pay the price. For now, you are sheriff first and trainer of harpies second.
Hey. Well, above me to question your decision, Mr. DeWitt.
Good. Then I will go to the next person. Victor, thank you for joining us. I have I have a task for you as well. I've seen how well you've done the introduction of the new chantry. This has led me to believe that you could be a very capable keeper of Elysia. So from now on, you will be our new keeper. Make sure that people stay as social as possible. Converge with Mr. Limey as much as you can, especially when he's training harpies. However, as soon as that stops, Mr. Grayson, of course, you understand. Furthermore, as sheriff, Mr. Limey, before I forget, you got the right to appoint a hound. I have someone in mind, but she will have to meet with your approval. I've I've
Any,
heard there's a gangrel called Elena.
yeah, Elena.
I
I
would
know
like to
Elena.
see I would like to see you make her your deputy whenever you can. But because she has been effective as well as in the maestro business, um, her status will need to be improved. We cannot have a fledgling hound running around.
No, when Sire up sticks and left, I did take responsibility for young Elena
Yes,
upon my own. But I did tell her that I'll try and give her neonate status as soon as possible.
Mr. Limey, responsibility for taking actions will be rewarded at my court, which means from now on, if you find time to invest in your status some more, you are considered, in my opinion, an ancilla status.
Limey, in a bold gesture for him, takes his hat off. Says, "Well, thank you very much, Mr. DeWitt. It's been a long time in the coming, but I appreciate it."
It's your own actions that will have you rewarded. Investigation and investment into the city will be rewarded. Good things could come to those who wait.
Thank you very much.
He looks around his papers to see what else he had in mind, and then he comes across a small report and he puts it on top and says, Miss Rose, thank you for joining us as well. You have been an enigma for me until I read some more reports about your endeavors. You seem to have a shadowed or overshadowed past. However, you've been proving yourself within the Camarilla again and again.
Thank you.
Therefore, I find you to be a very interesting person for others to meet and to converse with, especially because you seem to have a knack for sniffing out lies. So, with this in mind, I would like you to be our new warden.
Um, Sir, if I could, I would like to point out to you that this position has been offered before, and it was at that time, and I do believe that those arguments are still in place, presumed to be better with someone who is more socially active and more
Yes,
socially capable than myself.
I
I
understand.
would kindly ask you to reconsider,
I
please.
understand that you want me to reconsider. However, the people in the city I have to work with are rather small, which leaves me with a peculiar situation, which means that although I would rather have somebody else there because you say you find yourself to be social inadequate, I rather have you there than anyone else currently available to me, which has no position at this moment. Which,
So,
however, I understand that you have another opinion. I will not change my decision, and you are now our warden.
so might I also point out that there already are 2 wardens within the city,
I
deputy
know,
wardens.
I know. And those deputy wardens will keep being deputy wardens. Mr. Lime, you have something on your mind?
I merely wish to. And he turns to Rose in his most reasonable tone. Says, Rose, while I understand there are 2 deputy wardens, I would argue that neither have proven themselves to be as capable as you have. Now, with your interesting condition, I think you'd make a better emissary to the other supernaturals of the city than many in our own ranks. You have a way about you. You're a very gentle creature. I think you'd be a good candidate to meet the others of the city. I
Exactly.
find myself agreeing with Mr. DeWitt's decision.
Exactly. Your behavior and etiquette is what we need.
Very well. If this is your verdict, then I will accept it.
It is. I'm sorry to say there are not many others here, so I will make some proclamations without any other around. You can give them over to anyone you would like. I, as I have not many people in this city, have decided to absolve the Primogen Council, as there are not enough people in the council. However, that does not mean that there shouldn't be people from every single family or bloodline capable of speaking their mind, forming a group of their own. I will be part of this group representing the prince. But Primogens is something that is a title which is reserved for people who lead others of their bloodline. Most families simply do not have others to lead.
A wise decision, my Primogen. I mean, my Seneschal, of course.
Thank you, Victor.
May I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. How about those who still have a clan to guide as primogens?
I
There are a few
understand.
clans who do have the numbers and have a primogen in position. Are they
I
allowed to keep
understand.
their position, or will it be
If
dissolved as well?
if they want to be the representative of that clan, that's up to the clan to decide who they'll send. However, they shall not bear the title of Primogen.
I would speak my mind on this subject. We do have a Primogen in Clan Bruges in the form of Miss Ghost, who I believe you met before.
Yes, a very poor introduction, I might add.
I'm not denying that Ghost can be a little frosty around new people. She's capable though, and while she isn't the most socially graced creature on the planet, I suppose she wasn't a bad Primogen when she was active. And furthermore, she was also hound to the previous sheriff, and I would ask if you might allow me to consider deputising too, Kindred. especially if she's not allowed to be Primogen, Ghost is very capable when it comes to physical encounters.
My answer will be yes, Mr. Ridley. You are allowed.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, boss. Appreciate it. I can dig that.
Victor, before I forget, you are also allowed to name a, how would you call them? I've heard the word sword of the keeper. You can name one assistant if you wish. Preferably, if you can, not from your own bloodline, to make sure that we can keep things as mixed as possible.
Would you prefer someone without a title at the moment, my Senechal?
If that could be the thing, yes, I would prefer that.
I will make sure to find a list of candidates and present it to you post haste.
Wonderful. I think at this moment I'm also addressing a group as known as the Quills. Am I correct?
Yes, you are, sir.
Very well. You have been the best what the city has to offer.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
The phone of the Senechal rings and he steps into another room.
Well, this is unexpected.
I don't know. I saw him lumbering the sheriff position on me sooner or later.
Congratulations on that, Slimy. And you, Victor, as well, of course.
Yes. Congratulations are in order.
And I'd say the same to you, Rose. But, well, you don't look so thrilled.
I'm not really looking to put any more attention to my person as I already have.
Perhaps you can train your obfuscation more. Then you will have less attention to your person.
I'm trying to practice the art of looking differently, but so far it has not worked that well.
May I give a suggestion, perhaps?
Of course you may.
Train with our dear friend, Mr. Dales. I believe he might also enjoy the training.
And that might be a very, very good suggestion. So far I've been learning the art of obfuscate from Mr. Silas, but he's been absent for a while now.
Certainly has.
The Seneschal steps back into the room and he hangs as he presses his phone away and says, "I'm sorry. I've been trying to keep close contact with people of the city, and I've noticed troubles."
Of what sort, boss?
At the moment, people are trying to block the connections I have to information. I just hung up with somebody I know in City Hall who says that one of my investments got delayed. The bank did come through, however, the workforce seemed to be giving trouble.
What sort of trouble, boss?
At the moment, it seems that they don't want to work something with agreements that have been going on, which they suddenly want changed.
Well, my Seneschal, I am one of the union leaders of New York. I could perhaps have a word with theirs. See
If
if
you
we can arrange something.
if you could be so kind.
Of
They
course.
are at this moment. The group I'm talking about is I want to make some adjustments to an old theatre, as well as I am in the moment busy selling the Ventru Tower, or the tower the Ventru used to be in. I know it sounds kind of rash, but what I've noticed is that this tower is standing out like a sore thumb. Everyone seems to know where it is, and that it belongs to the Ventru. If I want to make this city Sabbat proof, the last thing I want is Ventru to be there.
That seems fair.
Very smart, my Seneschal.
Well, this city does need improvement, and I want to start at the ground level, simple infrastructure. I will have more things for people to come. Word on the street is there has been an investigation, and I need more information about this. An investigation to our a resident, what should we call it? A resident keeper of Elysium that went AWOL as well.
Hmm. Yeah, Mr. Peck, interesting business. He just disappeared one day, not really his style. What do you
No.
think happened to him?
So you suspect him either to be turned by the Sabbat, or maybe killed, or simply ran the city because of issues?
Well,
Yeah, but
Scott was active at that point.
he wasn't that kind of guy to just cut and run. He was too polite for that.
I do agree on that as well.
Could any one of you try and see if in the investigation of the fire has turned up anything new?
Oh, it's in the Bowery. I'm looking into the Bowery at the moment. I'm trying to find one of the boys in the police force. I'll go via my boys in the Harlem PD and see if I can't get someone on the inside. I'll
Very
let you know
well.
as soon as anything comes up, boss.
Good. This is how we should work. Use more influence to get things we need.
Talking about police guys, Victor and I have put a presumably Malkavian into custody.
What?
Victor
Into
glares at Rose.
custody?
Well, custody might not be the right word.
Where is he currently staying, this custodiary guest?
I do not exactly know.
Victor?
He is currently enjoying the hospitality of House Tremere.
Right, he's currently at the Chantry or something. Alright, well. What does he, why was he apprehended?
A few nights ago, before the opening of the Tremere Chantry, we were at a masked ball, and we found out something that might have had something to do with a breach of the masquerade. I followed up on this. We had a address. There I found him lurking about while I was doing my investigation, and I decided it was enough to at least take him with me for questioning.
Very well, very good. I I don't want to get too mixed into this simple thing. However, he did break tradition, which I cannot abide by. The simple rule of hospitality should mean that he comes and presents himself in front of the prince. Um, I would like to see him soon to at least have an explanation why he forgot his traditions.
That can be arranged. So,
Very well. Take your time, Victor. I mean, I know that Tremere have ways of making people remember. I would not mind you making sure that he does not forget to remember.
he simply nods.
Good. Well, I think this is all said and done. Is everything clear what I want from this city? Or at least what I want from you, my quills?
Well, of course, as sheriff, continue with the investigations I've got going on. Take on anything new that turns up. I can dig
Yes.
that.
Mr. Langley, you're also hereby allowed to bring weapons into an Elysium.
You got it, boss.
As long as you, of course, notify the Keeper of Elysium about this.
Exactly. I like your thoughts of protocol, Victor.
Victor, I wouldn't dream of doing so without letting you know about it first, boss. I guarantee you that.
That's good. Sheriff Limey.
Thank you, Keeper Koffler.
Very well. I will have more news for you. 3 at least, probably more. As we are running the city, I'm running into many simple blockades and some larger ones.
So,
Yes, my warden.
are there any specific requests when it comes to making contact with the other supernaturals in the city? Any
Well,
preferences?
at this moment, as I see it, we have been cleaning up messes they made. I understand we're all very friendly among each other. This is something I simply have to abide. Not something I like, but something we need to do. We seem to be not on the top of the food chain, like I told many before. This means that if people want something from us, they will simply have to ask. We will not offer it unless we offer it and they are happy to pay. It's simple. They look down upon us, thinking we are some kind of poison. We are not poison, we are something that's called righteousness when this city needs. Especially when it comes to the masquerade.
Very well.
Every ongoing business with the other groups can still be ongoing. There's no need to hamper this. However, offering of any help will need to have, well, not my approval, but in case I find out, people will have to answer for actions. Because we are not here to kiss ass, so to speak. We're here to make this city work. We need to run this city. If we
So,
do if we do everything for free, then
might
we
I
will be
make a
considered a
suggestion?
joke. Sorry?
Might I make a suggestion at this?
Yes, you may.
You are right, we are not top of the food chain at this point. I would advise to offer the first service that we render for free, so that they know what we are capable of and that we are a force to be reckoned with. Then if they need our help again, then we will ask for payment, as is our due.
A
That
wonderful
way
idea. This is
they...
how I like my warden to think.
Thank you, sir.
Now, my Senechal, if I may ask, you mentioned that you had some of your movements blocked within
Yes,
the
that's
city.
correct.
And you said that it was the banks, people refusing to work, wasn't it?
No, the bank came through with the money that's necessary to to change the Ventru Tower, maybe even to sell it later on. I want to make it ready for some silly offices instead of the pleasure ground of the Ventru.
So, where had you found your movement blocked, if I may ask?
I found it blocked when I simply wanted to know about, well, I wanted to make changes. However, as soon as I wanted to make changes, the, how are they called? People in leading the workforce. Well, they seem to disagree with some of the how do you call those things? The improvements I wanted for the workforce, so to speak, labor and all.
Well, historically, men refusing to work are replaced by cheaper labour, or they're coerced. I would
Yeah.
offer my services in this coercion. If you
I
point me,
first,
if you point me in the
Mr.
right direction. Oh, sorry.
Mr. Limey, I first want to see what Victor can do for me. I don't want us to become a pain for the humans, especially when they think we are just kind. I want our name among the humans whenever it's heard to be something of good, not something of bad. It's not because I think we should all love the humans or kiss them as they approach us. It simply means that we need to survive, and there are more of them than there are of us.
A good point, my Senechal. In which case, Victor, I mean, if you point me in the right direction, give me the right names, sir, then I'm sure me and Victor will be happy to go and have a chat.
Well, let me put it this way. Everyone has their own subject they need to look into. You have your contacts among the police. Victor has contacts in the infrastructural business. Everyone has their thing. I think this meeting is adjourned. If everyone has any other questions later this evening, you can all mail me on the computer.
Of course, boss. In that case, it's been a pleasure. He stands up and he extends his hand across the table.
He gets a firm hand, a soldier's hand, so to speak.
Limey gives a firm handshake back. He says, I shall not disappoint you, my Seneschal.
No, you won't.
I can dig that. Ladies and gents, see you outside. Limey stands and begins to head towards the door.
Victor then gets up and nods towards the Seneschal, my Seneschal,
My keeper?
and then turns around and exits the room.
Rose will stand up as well, and she'll extend her hand. Sir, I would kindly ask you to reconsider as soon as possible.
I understand, Rose. However, I will not reconsider as your first request for reconsiderment has been denied. I understand that you feel awkward in this position, and I do feel for you in some way. However, this is what we need to work with, and this is how it is. You will learn to grow into your task, as I will learn to grow in mine. I will meet you soon, as I want the Quills to invest more in this city and the connections that have to be made among the kin.
Very well, sir.
I wish you a very good night, and I will not hear of reconsidering this any more.
My apologies, sir. Please have a pleasant night.
Your apologies are accepted, and I wish you a wonderful night.
And Rose will also walk out to join with Limey and Victor. And unless someone wants to do something, we can call this a scene.
Seen it.
Very well. Everybody, thank you for participating, and Yeah, I hope everybody had fun watching this scene, and we'll see you another